Coming clean.
Coming clean with the G's. Wait a minute, let's see. Oh, look at that.
What?
That lovely
Little...
thing.
Yes, isn't that lovely?
You have to go like that with your Oh, look at that huge finger. Good job, it's that one. Right. I wanted to show the sunflowers and everything. It's wonderful.
All right, yeah, I can only show.
Even though everything is
I'm on the wrong
plastic.
side again. My bed
You're on
side
the
is
wrong-
this side.
Do you want to move?
No, it doesn't matter. Who cares?
Nobody.
I mean, do you have a better side when you're 70 years old?
Not
I
really.
don't know.
No. I've got to go like that to show the flowers, but then I miss me.
Okay.
Right.
Anyway.
Look up here. Look. Do you see
Yes.
this? This is where you have to look.
Oh, you're so cute. Have I told you how adorable you are recently?
Yes.
You
After
are.
waiting up for you last night till 1 a.m.
Oh, yeah. So I got plastered last night.
Hello.
It was so much fun. So I have this book club. Really, it's a wine club with a book
Thrown in occasionally.
So we wrote this book, Pursuit of Happiness.
We wrote it.
No, sorry, we read.
We read.
Yeah, we read this book, Pursuit of Happiness.
Drunk still, you see.
And by this lady who, it was a graphic novel, so it's
I
all
am a
her
lady.
photographs.
Yes.
No, go on. You are a lady.
Go.
I like the way that you button your shirt up.
Yes.
You're a little
Very English.
button-down person, aren't you?
Yes.
Anyway, so at my book club, there was 10 of us, 10 women off the block, and we had such a fun time talking about everything.
Everything except the book.
We had about
2
15
seconds
minutes
of
on the book.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it was good. Talk politics. I was drinking red wine. And then at 10:30, everyone was like, okay, we're going. And I stayed. And I got home at 1 o'clock.
Because of that Charlene or who's
Charlene.
on now watching. Getting my
And-
wife drunk.
The funny thing is,
Hello,
so
Mike. Right.
when I got home, it was 1 o'clock. You were already in bed.
Fast asleep.
Normally, you would think, okay, go to bed, but I just didn't want to. So I stayed up and watched this TV series. It was like a 3-hour thing. I was on the sofa watching it, falling asleep, waking up, rewinding to where I'd fallen asleep, watching it. It was like nuts, but it was so fun to do something completely different.
And now for something completely different.
And I woke up feeling great. But I have to come clean. I have not weighed myself this morning because...
I think not, because you'll be 400 pounds.
Yeah, I'm not
Because of
doing
that Shah.
I love Shah. Stop it. I won't have a word said against her. So anyway, that was it. It was a great night. It's really nice to have friends and neighbors who are so just great, you know what I mean? What?
I'm just singing Friends and Neighbours.
Friends and neighbors. Yes. Anyway, here we are. How to make your relationship amazing. 6 secrets from the top marriage researcher. Basically, it all comes down to be positive, love each other.
I could have written that.
I know.
Hello.
Yeah.
But they did all this research, whatever that means. 40,000 people.
Yeah.
But what was that thing that we were reading then? What's happened?
Well, so the last thing, right, okay. To sum it up is positive emotion beats problem solving. Avoid criticism, defensiveness, stonewalling, and definitely no contempt. Perpetual problems don't get solved.
Correct. They're always going to be there.
Soft start up to conflict discussions. Ladies complain but don't criticize.
Ladies complain but don't criticize.
Yeah,
That's
I don't
obviously
know.
not you.
Conversations that begin negative almost always end negative. So you've got to start with, I love you so much. You're
But
so
I hate
great.
you.
But when you leave your shoes, well, you don't leave your shoes around.
No.
What do you do?
She
Oh, I
leaves
know.
everything around.
I love you so much. And when you forget to take your belt, and so we go out and your shorts
And my
end
pants
up
are falling down.
around your knees, it's very embarrassing.
I'm just trying to get some attention, that's all.
Timeouts beat stonewalling.
Yeah, don't
Oh,
get
so
me.
it's okay. So it says guys. Again, it's this
Guys.
bloody gender thing. Don't tune out if you're feeling overwhelmed. Ask for a 20-minute break. Does that make sense? Does that feel like something that you could do? No? Do you think you could do that, Jeffrey? What? What are you doing?
Tuning out.
Oh, God. God, I was a bit scary for a moment. I thought you were having a stroke or something. Like, oh, God. And then don't resist, repair.
Persist. No.
Laughing, being nice, or acknowledging what was said doesn't mean you immediately lose the argument. And it might stop you from losing your partner. Anyway.
Right.
That's it,
So
really.
what does all that bunkum mean? I don't know. There's an annoying person beeping their horn for some reason.
We just say the average couple only speaks for about 2 hours a week.
What?
Yeah, that's not very much, is it?
Well, that's
2 hours a week.
Yeah, but remember, we're very abnormal because we work together as well as...
Stop beeping your horn, you moron. Can you say moron over the Facebook Live?
Why not?
You idiot. Stop beeping. Why do people beat the horns? It's not like we're in Rome. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, shut up. Oh, I just want to go and find... So, obviously somebody's beeping because they're not getting in or out or something.
Somebody's not coming to the car.
And I think people feel like they're in their own little bubble of automobile. Like, you know, they can just keep beeping. Why not just get out the car and find out what's going... Oh, my God.
Go and find them, babe. Kill them.
Oh, by the way, I do have to report. I don't know if you were watching a few sessions back when there was this little old man with his little white dog pooping on the lawn. He came by the other day.
And that was the little old man, by the way. The dog was quite happy. But he was pooping on. Everyone's a winner. Don't forget to tip your waitress.
And anyway, he had his doggy bag. I think that was because I shouted at him.
I think you're right. You just realised what a bottom dweller he was.
My glasses are fogging up. It is so humid here. Anyway, the beeping stopped because I heard someone go shout at the person.
Very good.
This is what it is, isn't it? We're all kind of shouting at each other or, you know, not liking what someone's doing. And I mean,
how do we let it go?
Yeah, how do we let it go? How do you let it go, Jeffrey G?
Well, because it's... Well, I don't actually.
No, you don't let it go
If
sometimes.
it's bad driving and things like that, I won't actually follow them and then beat them to a standstill.
Which he could do, you know, because he was in the paras. He was in the parachute regiment, jumping out of planes.
Right, yes. But stop doing that. Look at me now. I couldn't beat the out of a paper bag.
I know. But so this is when we lived in England, and he was in the parachute regiment, and they had to do all of this training, and he went to Scotland, where the American was it the Navy?
Well, it's the Polaris submarine base at Oban, on the west coast of Scotland.
So it was Americans there,
and they had to do a water jump.
Right. So there they are, flying over this loch.
No, the sea.
Oh, the sea. Okay, they're flying over the sea.
Well, it's a bay, but
it's a bay. There's the Polaris submarine and all these Americans. So somebody must have talked to somebody because it's just
a joint effort.
Oh, thank you very much. Combined, yes. And so Jeff, not just you, but how many were with you in your troop or whatever you call yourselves?
There was 32 plus the other 64.
Oh my God! So 64
coming out of the plane at the same time.
Jumping out like on a, you know, like it's like boom, 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 boom.
800 feet, all coming out on sticks. Bam, 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 bam. It was really good.
Red light on, green light go. Bam, bam. Anyway, so then he's coming down into the sea, where these Americans, we now are Americans,
yes,
are waiting in what kind of craft? Like
little rubber dinghies,
rubber dinghies.
To pick us up with the parachute.
Oh God!
Because the parachutes were expensive, so they didn't want to lose them.
Now, normally you parachuted out with a big gun, didn't you?
Yes. Well,
but you didn't have a. You didn't have a big. I thought you had
what?
I thought you had.
How big is my gun, madam? Stop it now.
I thought you had a particularly big gun. Like
it was a general purpose machine gun,
which
is where you have two guys, one feeding
All
while
right.
the other one.
And,
But I didn't do that for long. Anyway.
Anyway,
yes,
but you didn't
everybody's got stuff.
Right, and you did not jump out into the sea with that. This was a...
Oh, yeah.
What?
No.
No. Because that would have just plummeted and you would have...
Yes, you would have gone, because it's about 80 pounds, so it would have just gone straight.
So,
no, as soon as your feet touch the water, there's a big metal buckle here that has all the 4 straps coming in, and then as soon as you hit the water, you do that, and then you go into this, cross position, and everything just, so your legs are open and your hands are open, and everything just falls off, you hope.
Did yours?
Oh, hell yes.
So it all fell out. So you weren't
you
weren't like one of these bobbing under the parachute and...
Well, sometimes, yes. I mean, because you come back up and the chute is on the top. So sometimes you come up and you hit your head on the... It's nothing. I mean, it's just a piece of nylon. But it's a bit disconcerting because you think, where the hell is how do I get...
Right.
Which happened a little bit for me, but not much.
Did you just do it once?
Yes.
Good for you. Well, I mean, these parachutes are not like the ones that you see that they jump with today, where you can maneuver. These are like the big round
ones
that you see on these old movies going back to World War II.
Because you're only coming in at 800 feet. You're not coming in at 15,000 that we would jump out.
Right.
It's the special chutes. This was just the get out fast, hit the water, get moving, get out.
And how were the Americans when you...
They were very funny.
Were they?
Yeah, we had a good time.
Why?
Well, because they would shout, never mind you, the parachute's more important.
In a Yankee voice. Never mind you, the parachute's more important.
You goddamn peckerhead. Or whatever it was. I don't think anybody ever said that, so I don't know why I said that. But it was funny-ish.
But they were like smiling and cheerful.
Oh, yeah, it was good. Well, it was a great day out for them. They didn't have to do anything.
Right.
Well, I mean, they had to pull in wet
parachutes.
Bodies.
So there were 64 of you jumping out, and like
34 in each stick, 32 in each stick.
And how many would get into one life raft?
About 6 or 7.
6 or 7. Oh my God! So were you treading water for a long? And in your boots and everything?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Well, we had to do that test first.
Tell us about the test.
Well, you had to jump off a 30-foot high diving board.
Right.
With your boots on and your uniform.
Right.
And then swim around the pool twice without touching anything.
Right.
And then you're allowed. Then you're passed.
I am just really shocked that you did all of that.
So am I.
You hate the water.
I'm frightened to death of it. Some guys didn't. I mean, they just said, I'm not doing it.
Right.
So that was the end of that.
I'm surprised you're amazing that you did it.
I could not. There's all these other guys looking at me.
Right.
I can't go, oh, I don't think so.
And
you
then
just jump and see what happens.
There was your buddy, Dave, who couldn't march properly.
No, it wasn't him, babe.
Oh, what?
No, he was fine. It was one of these guys. I can't remember his name. Butthead or something like that, because he was a butthead. Couldn't actually march. He would do, I don't know how you cut, but he would march. He would march like you march like that. He marched like.
What, like twine-toed?
And if you were behind him, it was terrible, because you're watching him, and then suddenly you can't march properly either. The sergeant was not amused. He would walk like.
Oh, so
like that.
Instead of kind of like he's.
Yeah, I mean the body doesn't move. It's just your legs, except his body he would move like.
Right.
Leg, and it was like, oh my God.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So instead of kind of like going he was kind of like like with the all right.
Just off-putting. It was horrendous. Nobody wanted it. Bless his heart.
And was he there?
I mean, he got it eventually, but oh dear me, the sergeant was just going berserk.
Did he jump into the?
Oh yeah, he did everything. Yeah. Oh, he was fine, except he couldn't march.
Right.
But then he could march. I mean, once you get beaten a couple of times, it's amazing what you can do.
So what was funny about that whole time? So when Jeff was in the parachute regiment, we were married and we had the 2 little babies who were, I think Sarah was maybe 6 months old and Kirsty was 18 months old. And this guy from the like, I don't want to say a general, but he was a major or something, came to our house to...
Oh, retired colonel.
To try and recruit you.
To join them in the... what were they called?
Something, I don't know.
So I would be, the guys that look after all the car, as they're flying in these C-130s, you would be dropping out tanks and boxes and food, and he wanted me to be one of those guys in charge of the...
Oh. So, but for some reason we didn't do
Well,
it.
once he saw where we lived and the money I could make and do all that, he said no. He's
and
really,
the 2 little kids.
Yeah, he said it's just not worth it.
Right. So he kind of saw that
you'd have to be very dedicated to do that.
Yeah. Being in the military, I think, is
scary.
It's huge. I remember talking to this woman here in America, and her husband was high up, I don't know, colonel, something like that. And when they move, they have to be like ready that same evening to put on a dinner for everybody, for all of the high-ranking officers. Like, so
an officer and a gentleman.
So they move into this home. Can you imagine that? So you move into a home. Not only have you got to get all your everything up, but you've also got to prepare and cook a meal for everybody, for the high-ranking officers.
You would love that.
Oh my God, I would be a nut job. I mean,
straight around to the fish and chip shop.
Yes.
Look what I've cooked.
Throw in
fish and chips for 22 officers.
Open your mouth. Here's a chip. Shut up. Sit down. No, you can't do that. But anyway, and I mean, yeah, the military just runs through all our families, basically. I mean, anyone that's a baby boomer in the UK, pretty much everybody's been in the military, because it was World War II. You had no
World
choice.
War II. Yeah.
But it's good for your dad, because he kind of like really elevated in his life through that, didn't he?
Oh, when he was in the war, the Second World War, he made a huge difference for him, because he went from being a what do they call them over here?
I don't know. Yeah, I have no
blue
idea.
collar.
Oh yeah, blue
What's
collar.
What's lower than a blue collar worker? Anyway, he was digging up sewers.
Your dad was digging up sewers?
Yeah, with Uncle Jack.
Oh my God, so he was digging up sewers?
For the Newcastle Water Company. So if there was a leak, they'd have to go in and dig up.
Oh my God. So then the war came along.
The war came, he was 18, and he was in bombers. But he met all of these officer types.
Oh, right.
Oh, hello. What's your name, young man? And all that stuff.
Mr. G, come over here and help us.
No, they didn't say things like Mr.
Okay.
G. They would, get your ass over here, you ding dong.
Get your arse over here, you ding dong.
But he, I think from that he realized, boy, he could go up and he was very good at talking. So, he got a job as a salesman, and that was it. He just went from strength to strength.
Yeah.
So he left that.
But the funny thing is
behind.
about your dad is he was also, we didn't find this out until later, he was also very depressed.
Chemically depressed.
I think it's because of being in the war, because how many, do they
Thank
call
God,
them?
because I thought it was because of me.
They call them sorties or whatever, right? How many of those did he go on?
32 bombing raids.
32 bombing raids. And I don't know if you've ever seen one of these Lancaster bombers.
Lancaster,
They've got like a bubble. They've got a few bubbles on them where in the bubbles is sitting a soldier, a human being with a gun.
Yes.
And he was in the bubble at the end or underneath?
Well, no, he did change. So sometimes he was in the bubble at the back, and sometimes he was on the belly.
I just can't even really...
And some of the times when they landed, the guys in the back were dead.
Oh, God. So 32 of those. I mean, I think of now this is a silly analogy, but going to Great America and being, going up and down. But he's actually in a bubble under a plane, flying over Nazi Germany.
People shooting at him from the ground.
Shooting.
And little Messerschmitts, fighter jets, fighter pilots. Not jets. Oh, they did have the jets at the end. but they were coming in deliberately to shoot the bombers as they were flying along, because they were much slower and heavier, obviously.
Right.
So they could duck and weave these little fighters and come in and spray them. That's why a lot of them died, and nobody knew about it until they landed.
Right.
Well,
Horrible.
they did know about it.
I'm saying
because
right,
the
like
intercom
it's
went, but, you know.
Anyway, and nothing's really changed. I mean, that's what the military do. They go
Not
in
now.
there and, well, not
They
that,
just
but
bomb.
still. Oh.
Very few of them are actually being, because now they got precision.
Let's get off this subject.
Yes, I don't know how we started
it. It was me
Very
that
good.
started it. And anyway, it was no wonder he was depressed. But of course, they didn't know about PTSD back then.
Yeah.
I think they just call it shell shocked. You know. Anyway, from that lovely, nasty little subject, then you.
But you see, out of the misery of the war, he grew and grew in stature.
Right.
But, and then he had the depression. But so there's a win and lose every time in life.
Right.
There's no nice happy time and nice bad time. There's no bad time or happy time. There's a mixture of. You go through your life on this merry-go-round of everything's going well, and then suddenly it goes. You
Right.
lose your job, you lose your home, your business goes bust like ours did. Bang. Oh.
Right.
But out of that business going bad, wonderful things happen again. Always. The best time for human beings is when they hit problems and overcome them.
Mm.
Always. Human beings are just amazing at that. Can you imagine if you had a life where you never did anything, you know, everything was nice? What would you do? Where
Right.
would you be? No, you've got to have,
I don't know. It
you've
sounds
got to have
quite.
nasties.
It sounds quite nice to have a nice life.
Well, for a week.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's like going on holiday and lying on the beach for 2 weeks. I would shoot myself.
Right.
What the hell?
Yeah.
You've got to do something. You've got to find things and take risks and what the hell. And always remember that it always works out exactly the way it's supposed to, whatever that means. Ah.
Well, you know how I love Abraham Hicks and how she talks about it as, you know, there's the river, and you're in the river, and there's downstream and there's upstream, and oftentimes we find ourselves paddling against the current, trying to go upstream, when if you just let go of the oars and just go downstream, it feels though sometimes to me just
not
like
really that good, does it?
Well, it feels a bit.
What are you doing in the canoe when you're going downstream and nothing, and the stream's taking you?
Yeah.
You fall asleep in the boat, and then a crocodile comes and gets you.
Well, maybe you just enjoy life, though. Maybe that's.
Oh,
what's,
enjoy
you know,
life, no matter what's going on.
Right.
Haven't we had some interesting times?
Very. Yes.
And you've just got to enjoy them and laugh and stick to it and move on. And
Yeah.
my mother was always great at that. Whatever was going wrong, she would just say, just shut up and get on with your life.
Right.
You go, ooh, okay then.
Yeah, she did.
But
Well,
she was right.
Her favourite saying was "pockle your knuckle" if you did anything that she didn't approve of or didn't like.
Which basically was language for fuck off.
She would never say
Oh,
fuck
she
off,
would never.
though.
My mother, I never knew her swear. I never heard her break wind. She was this epitome of everything that I'm not.
An English lady.
An English,
You're
I'm
not
a lady.
You are not an English lady. No, she was great, wasn't she?
Yeah.
She was always upbeat.
Feisty though.
Well, feisty, and I think feisty's okay. You know, she.
Help me out.
Yeah.
Shut up and get on with your life. Okay, thanks, Mum. Any sympathy there? None. Get on. She was the one.
Well, she loved you so much, though, too. She loved coming over to America. And I really enjoyed having her here. I loved having her here. It was so fun. I remember one time we were driving in this little car, and it was thunder and lightning. I think we'd been up to Gurney Mills or something, and we were coming back, and the rain and the thunder, and we were just kind of laughing, singing and laughing. It was so much fun. She was great. But anyway, and then the worst thing she would say would be, "Oh, sugar." Or if it was really bad, Sugar Plum Fairy.
Yes.
And then cockle your knuckle. Okay, anyway, that's it.
Very,
Enough
how long have we
reminiscing.
been doing this?
Too long.
26 goddamn eternal minutes. So remember.
Yes.
Life is what you make it.
Make it what you want.
If you want to be miserable and pissed off, it's fine. But I'd rather be happy, happy, joy, joy.
Happiest I've ever been.
Happiest I've... Yes. And we will fight them on the beaches.
If you're around, by the way, this Friday night, we're at the Eastgate Cafe.
Eastgate Cafe.
On Harrison Street in Oak Park, 7 o'clock.
Val and Jeff Gee. Doing funny. Come and laugh at us or with us. We don't care. We have no pride left.
Bye.
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 Enjoy your life. Bye.
Bye.